Be careful how you bond with or who you bond with over a shared frustration. What may start as something that connects you with someone else can quickly become emotional quicksand. Look, there's nothing wrong with venting, with, telling a friend or somebody about a problem you're having, and maybe you share that problem and you might talk about it together, and maybe that will help you bring some clarity into the situation. But when that becomes a habit, when it becomes something you're constantly doing, when it's the thing that connects you with the other person, then there could be a problem. Because when your relationship with someone revolves around a shared problem and there's never any growth or movement from that problem, then that's an issue. So you need to be looking at this kind of relationships and ask yourself, do I leave these conversations feeling heavier instead of lighter? Do we replay the same stories, the same conversations over and over again and nothing changes? Are we invested in a solution, or do we just enjoy talking about the problem? Because if we're just emotionally invested in the drama, in the problem itself, but we're never really looking for a way to make things better, then that's an issue. And if you also ask yourself, does one person's frustration act as fuel for the other person, where you then find yourself actually you're very calm, you're content with your life, you're getting on with things. This person then winds you up, and before you know it, now you're frustrated too. If that is happening, really, this is a co-rumination thing. You're tied to this person through whatever this experience or negative situation is. And the real issue here is that even though you might not think that there's anything wrong with that, that relationship is fueling your frustration. It's creating more stress and more agitation for you. And you don't always want to have a relationship with someone that's just based on your shared frustrations. So what do? Well, ask yourself this. Have we had this conversation before? If yes, are we adding something new? Are we just going to recycle the same old story? Then also ask yourself, what can we control here? Is there anything that we can control? Is there any way I can control this conversation or bring it back to let's try to get an action in? Also, set a time limit, because actually there's nothing wrong with venting with a friend or colleague or whatever. But if the venting just goes on and on and on and there is no real resolution, no change, no solution, then what's the point of it? So set a time limit. Are we talking about the same thing? If we are, is there anything new? Okay, we will have 10 minutes and then we both need to move on. And finally, just pay attention to how these conversations feel. Are they restorative or are they robbing you of your peace?